Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk about a very serious issue. Man, I thought about this right when I was in the car coming back from the gym. I was sitting in the parking lot outside of the Sprouts grocery store, and it just hit me basically like a ton of bricks. And if I could be completely transparent with you guys, I'll be honest with you, I suffer from like severe low self-esteem for a variety of reasons. Far as the way I looked growing up, far as the environment I grew up, and I had loving parents and loving environment, but I just felt a sense of inadequacy growing up, and it just hit me because I was just playing a basketball game. If I could be really honest, and I didn't play my best. Have you ever had yourself in a situation where you know you were competent, and you know you had the skill level, but you didn't live up to that potential? And it just hit me because it's basically an indicator of low self-esteem, a value of low self-worth. There was this quote I heard from this personal development coach, and he said, "Wherever you go, there you are." We have in our minds sometimes this facade that thinks, well, if I just move to this country, if I just get in this different relationship, if I just move to this new city, then things will work out and be better for me. And there may be some truth to that. But in reality, wherever you go, there you are. You attract what you are. So specifically, I like to think in relationships, because that hits home with most people, is have you ever had that situation where wherever you go, you keep meeting the same type of people in a romantic relationship, and you're just asking why? Consciously, you want a different type of person, but that's not who you are internally. And that may not be something that they may not, it's a tough pill to swallow, to be honest with you guys. So I thought about this person in my own life while I was sitting in the parking lot. And I was like, wow, I still suffer from low self-esteem in certain areas of my life. And it's showing itself. And it showed on the basketball court tonight. I didn't play my best. So this is some unconscious belief, some unconscious story. And maybe you have the same thing going on. If you clicked on this video and you're watching this as I'm speaking right now, you're thinking, I'm not doing the best that I possibly can. So if you're like me, like I've done, you've tried and bought different courses, you've moved to different cities, you've switched relationships, like you switch underwear, hopefully. You've done so many of these external things hoping that internally your situation would get better, but it's not, and it's frustrating. And sometimes you may feel like you just want to give up. Have you ever felt like that? Like you just honestly really want to give up? And I'm here to tell you that most likely it's because of your self-image, your self-worth, and what you believe about yourself. So where do we move forward? The first part is identifying it. Identifying the issue. And personally, I can say that the issue is my self-image, my self-worth, who I believe I am internally. There's this book that I thought of immediately while I was sitting in that parking lot at Sprouts, and it was Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maximo, I believe it's Maltz or Waltz, one of the two. And he talks about that, about your self-image. There's an old saying in the Bible, and this is honestly irrelevant if you're religious or not. This is not what I'm getting to. The point is, he says you can't, basically sew a new patch on the old wineskins, right? So basically, if you're trying to set a goal that's outside of your paradigm, outside of your thought process, outside of what you unconsciously, basically deep down believe is possible, that old self will reject it. That old wineskin will basically reject the new. Right? If you have a bushel full of apples that are fresh and you throw a rotten one on top, it's going to infect the whole batch. So basically, you have to start from the inside, the core and the inside first, in order to get the results that you want. So instead of, and I thought about this and I really wanted to share this with you guys. So instead of setting that new goal to do this, maybe you're struggling with, weight loss. Maybe you want to, be a certain weight, you want to look a certain way, you want to achieve a certain goal in your life, and you've tried and done everything possible, and you haven't had much progress. Most likely it's because of a self-image problem. There's an unconscious story about who you believe that you are, right? And it's not the equivalent of your goal. So what most people do is they'll try to raise the goal. But the thing is, the self-image is like, no, I'm going to stay down here. So what you have to do is you have to raise the self-image first, and then you raise the goal. So how do you raise the self-image? There's another book called The Magic of Thinking Big. It talks about this, the importance of looking your best, wearing great clothes. That doesn't mean spending money on expensive clothes, but it's about treating yourself with respect, loving who you are. It doesn't mean you're settling. It doesn't mean necessarily that you have to be cocky about it, but it's acknowledging, okay, I have certain things that I do like about myself, right? You know, if you had a girlfriend or boyfriend or a spouse, and you never told them you loved them, would they stay around at all? You know, if you continuously badmouth them all the time, how do you think they would feel? A lot of the times, and I can speak personally about this, is we badmouth and we're so hard on ourselves, and we don't necessarily love ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that you shouldn't strive to become better, a better version of yourself. But you do have to have some aspects, and this is personal, you do have to have some aspects that you really like about yourself, that you can build upon. We all have certain strengths, certain areas of our life that we're successful in, quote unquote, compared to most people. Sorry, I got some music playing in the back. So, you have to start with the internal, the self-image. And most likely I'll have another video getting more into detail about that. But I just wanted to tell you that I understand if you're frustrated. I understand if you're trying to find out how can I change this in my life. And I thought about this while I was sitting in the parking lot. We have to start with the self-image first. Who we believe ourselves to be. And sometimes we have to speak things that have not yet come to pass. You know, you've maybe heard the thing, the power of positive self-talk. There's a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Hemstetter. We have to talk, basically speak of how we want to be. Because when you were younger, things were spoken over you, or you viewed things that necessarily weren't maybe the best or beneficial for you. Right? So we have to start with the self-image first. So I just want to share that with you guys. It's about, a little bit over time, but I appreciate you being with me this far. But I get it. You're not alone at all. And start with the self-image of who you believe yourself to be. And another tip of that is to start reading biographies as well of people who have what you want and what they had to accomplish. And it raise your courage level and your self-esteem as well, saying that, hey, if this guy could do it, come from his background, then maybe I can do it too. Reading is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So hopefully this gave you a lot of value, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Check out my blog below as well. And I appreciate you. See ya.